Welcome to Ask a CMO. Today we're going to talk about what is the cost of digital marketing for small and medium-sized businesses. One-on-one, I can tell you that exact cost, but this video is going to dive into all the considerations you need to know in order to effectively manage your digital marketing budget for a year. There are a lot of intricacies here. Some things are more applicable than other things to businesses, and this is all going to be unique to your exact case. So let's go over to the whiteboard and find out what are some of these key things you need to understand in this checklist. So you want to know how much digital marketing costs for your small to medium-sized business. The general rule of thumb is it's between 7 and 12%. I'll show you two more fingers if I had some, but I don't want to show you toes. So if you're making 100K, that's going to be between 7 and 12,000, which is enough. That is a good and healthy budget. It's not going to cover all the bases, but it can cover 1 to 2 of the bases that are actually generating 80% of the results. The thing with marketing and advertising is you are not going to get all of your sales from all these different places. You have to pinpoint where those places are, and you're going to get them from either paid ads or from SEO. I prefer building businesses with zero marketing. I build businesses and scale them up to $1 million with zero marketing. The thing with that is you have to have the faith, the persistence, and the desire, and the want to do that. And you also have to make money to pay your vendors, your employees, and yourself. Because if you cannot eat dirt, well, business might not be for you, but the reward and the upside is great. So you really need to hang in there. So digital marketing for SMBs. Now let's start with the most basic thing. Web design. If you have a website, you have hosting, you have a theme, you have maintenance, you have developers, you have plugins, you have technology. Those are all variable and fixed costs. You need a website in order to stay in business. If you don't have a website, well, I'm not going to find you. It's simple as that. And SEO is going to be your first step. You have different keyword research tools. You have on-page SEO, which is going to be optimizing your website. You have off-page SEO, which is more or less press releases and PR and getting the word out about your website. You have the technical SEO, where you can do a lot of the voodoo, pixie dust, and you have agency fees that can actually help you get to that point. Now, content marketing is really the next level of SEO. It's the continuation of what's happening on your website, not only of the content that's on your website to get people to come to and read it, it's also the content that's off your website in order to raise awareness and get people to take an action, whether it's off your website or on your website. On-site, off-site SEO, see how that works? But there's costs too. You have copywriting costs, you have editing costs, you might be making videos. I learned how to make videos. I've owned and sold a film production company, so I have that skill. I'm not a freaking Quentin Tarantino, but it's enough to get to the point. You have to be raw, quick, and authentic. And the promotional strategies that you're going to do with other websites to get the word out. Now, number 4, everyone gets caught up in social media marketing. It is not 2005 anymore. It's not 2009 anymore. It's not 2015 anymore. It's 2023. Really? Whew! Time flies, right? So you have your tools. This is your automation, your Hootsuites, and all the buffers of the world that are helping you to automate and get the content out, because this is a task that you can actually front load and have your whole month done. April's around the corner. Get it done. And the platforms you're doing it on, because you can be posting everywhere, and it doesn't matter. You could only be succeeding in LinkedIn because you're in B2B sales and you're very niche and specific to your audience. Graphics, videos, and influencer costs that are associated with getting your content boosted, found, and engaged by other audiences that are similar to the audience that has your target prospects in it. And then email. This one is something that's very useful. It still converts a lot, and it helps with that conversion and nurturing stages, because you can get to emails when you want, so your prospects are more comfortable to do it at their own pace, and you can nurture them at their own pace in order to take the action that you want them to take. There's tools, there's design, copywriting, and then the intelligence, which is going to be the segmentation and how you send to the right audiences in the list, because if you send the wrong email to your entire list, well, you could be 50% smaller by the end of the week in terms of your list size. Now, PPC, this is a fun one. I think this is where A lot of businesses are going to get the most momentum, at least initially, because Google has a habit. You start a new campaign, you get amazing results, it's really cheap and it's amazing, and then you put a ton of money into it and you're actually losing money and you cut it. And most businesses are going to cut it too soon. You have Google, Bing, social media, retargeting, and there's a lot of different platforms for niche organizations that you should consider too. This is where you need to do the research. And number 7, which I think is number 1 or 0, depending on when you ask me in the business cycle, but analytics. If you cannot track your conversions, your traffic, where they're coming from, and then dissect that through BI, otherwise known as business intelligence, you're not going to get quality reporting and you won't understand where to invest. Do I go here, 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 here? Mike, tell me. No, I can't tell you because you didn't set up your tracking, but I can set that up for you. It's easy. Let me do it for you. Anyways, number 8, marketing automation and CRM. This is, I would say, the holy grail for every single business. E-commerce businesses may be more fortunate to set this up because it's a product, you're reminding people to do things, and these are all templated actions. But for B2B lead generation, you can be at a loss. There's no template for your business. Only you know what that is. And you're going to have to try a whole bunch of things, and you're going to have to use analytics in order to justify, is this working and how can you refine your marketing automation? Because if you're getting emails, it's going into your marketing automation, and you need analytics to support that. But you also have your email service provider, which could be your tool, like an ActiveCampaign or a MailChimp, whatever. They're all pretty much the same. Your CRM tools, I'd recommend HubSpot. It's free. It's a simple little database. But if you want to start using tools, there's costs, right? And then the integration, the actual implementation, and the adoption. You can spend all this money on these tools, and you can get them set up, but you don't use them. Like WTF, man, like why did you waste all that money? That doesn't make any sense. And then number 9, well, it's also my number 1, is your vendors. What is it going to cost to get this done? Is it a one-time fee? Is it ongoing? Do you hire agencies? Do you hire freelancers? Do you go to Upwork? Do you go to Fiverr? I don't know. That's really up to you, but those are all costs that you're going to have to anticipate. And down the line, maybe having an employee might be worthwhile, but if you're living in the US, an employee could be expensive because you're still ramping up in your startup. So you really need to hit the hammer as hard as you can to get the most out of your effort. And then finally, number 10, training, education, courses, expos, books, more education, training, expo, books. That's my lane. That's the lane that I'm in every single day, just thinking about it and trying to understand how can I get the most out of my marketing efforts and how can I translate that into results for my clients. So you have to consider all of these things. You don't have to do them in order. You don't have to really do them out of sequence either. You just have to pick 1 or 2, touch them, and then pick 1 or 2 more, touch them again, and work through all of these different parts and continuously teach yourself what everything means. Get people around you, a mastermind of experts that know things more than you, because expectation here is you're never going to learn everything here. That's not the expectation here. The expectation here is you want to create the best service or the product or the experience for your customer. That's your expectation. Now, if you blend that in and you start bringing in vendors that you trust, you're going to taste all these different steps of the marketing, so at least you have a handle of what's going on. And bottom line, as a big stakeholder or an executive stakeholder, analytics are going to answer all of your business questions, especially if it's set up and you have campaigns running. And that's how you can use your analytics to disseminate what you understand based off of what you know in your results and send that over to your team so your team can start implementing it. So you have to spend less time learning because there's that ramp up. But you want to get to the most viable point in your organization by knowing what every nook and cranny is doing. Because if you have blinders on, well, you need to hire an expert to take those blinders off and show you the way. And let me know if you have any questions, and I will show you the way. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification to catch the next Ask a CMO video. Thanks for watching. If you're still unsure about your digital marketing question, be sure to request a free marketing audit from Zima Media, where one of our marketing consultants will create a personalized video response and address every single one of the smart marketing opportunities to grow your business.